Let's make sure we're all running on all cylinders. 258 on Twitch now. Really? Sweet. Probably from the Elden Ring streams. What about YouTube? Has YouTube caught on yet? Alright, YouTube thinks it's coming and fireworks are starting this very minute. Ah, yes. Ooh. Alright, are we live on YouTube? I think we are. Sweet. Let's see if the chat's working. Don't have live on stream. Hey Mark, how you doing? This very minute I started this stream, the fireworks start behind me. God damn it. Alright, before I get started on the large puzzle support, hey Chameleon! I'm a little bit better. I had a 2-hour nap today because I haven't really been sleeping the last couple of weeks between the fireworks and the early mornings, and our dog is scared of the fireworks, so he keeps coming onto the bed and pushing me around, and that wakes me up at 4 and at 5 and at 6, and I haven't been able to get enough sleep in a while. That's why I canceled last week's stream as well. Alright, I wanted to take a quick look at the weekly stats, because I'm currently keeping all the previous files, so I thought maybe I'll make them loadable. Let me see, where are we going? This will be under here? No, under here? Question mark? Under stats, weekly, right? Then we'll have these files. So maybe we'll just, for now, maybe we'll just, first of all, we'll make it be able to select a specific file just via query string. So let's say we want to load this one. And the state, is that the starting date? Okay, so we should be able to do something like start equals, oh, and let's go to localhost. Right? Let's see, localhost 912. And then we'll do something like start equals that. And then here, where we're loading the file, which happens here, load stats. And then this is the stats file. Okay. And, okay, so let's see. We'll grab this query string via the same code I've used. Blub, 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 blub. No, not custom colors. One sec. I'm gonna open a file from here. Because I think, yeah, that's the piece I want. And let me just reopen that. So I have my preview. Hey, Christina Richter, how are you doing? Yeah, last week I just didn't manage. It got too late, and then there was not enough time. Okay, so let's put that there. Let's see, start. So if we do this, right? This should be cache disabled, right? Oh, I think it won't restart like this. I have a solution. There's a script for this. What is this? Watch. Read API, watch. No, there's one for watching. Yeah, watch www. Watch dub. If I do this, And now I save this file. It should restart the server here. And now, if I refresh this, yeah, we get that. Okay. So then we can do... we'll probably do a basic regex match. We'll just do something like this. Let's put that somewhere. Const re date re iso date. Boom. I guess we can do this. This and this. Right? That should work. Not watch. Let's say let's QS start equals something. Boom, boom, boom. That. And then we'll put that out here. And start.match like that. And test start just to see kind of all those. So that'll give us a true. It'll give us this. And we can do something like dot slice. Let me just dot slice 1. That should give us these 3. Dot join. Boom, like that. Right. And then to get the default day. Thanks, Dr. Moriarty, if you're on stream right now, for the samples. So, and then the default we want to calculate, it's gotta be basically the Monday. Ugh. How do we find the Monday? If I say new, oh, let me make this a bit bigger down here. If I say new date, like that, right? And then I'll say dot get, if I say get day, is that weekday? Get day. Let's put the actual date in here, just so we have control over what's going on. So 04, get day is 0. 03 is 6. So get day is the weekday. So we'll want to do get day. So we need the Monday. So get day needs to be 1. And I hope that doesn't change, right? Like that doesn't change through internationalization or something? Like which day is 0? Is it always Sunday 0? I think so. Okay. So if we take this, and I'm gonna write a tiny little piece of code that I'm just gonna paste in here, just to put this together very, very quickly. Is that the sort of thing I should do in CodePen? Maybe. So if we do something like this. Yeah, I need to set myself up with something where I can have code like this and it just gets live updated. I think there's a console plugin for Sublime Text, actually. So we'll say, this is our date. So we'll just put the string in there. Right? So date str. Then we let dt equals new date date str. Right? And then we can do date str dt. And now we want to do seconds per. So we'll need const ms per day equals 24 times 360 times 1000, right? And we'll want to subtract that from date. Right, so we'll do something like this. dot value of minus and we need to that value to get to 1. So if it's 1, we don't want to subtract anything, right? So so we want to subtract that. So we want to do dt.getDay minus 1. If it's 1, so if it's 0, we want to basically shift it by down by 1, right? So minus 1 works here as well. Wait, if it's 0... this is annoying. If it's 0... we'll want to add 7 and subtract 1. And then modulus it by 7, right? If I do array 7... dot for each I... like, if I do this, right? Like that. Nope. If I do... map. Like that. If I do... like that. So if I want to turn 0 into 6... and 1 into 0... so we'll do plus 6... right? And then we'll do plus 6 modulus 7. Plus 6. So I don't get a negative, basically. No. Like, if I do this, it shifts by 1. But I want minus 1 to become 6. So if I modulus this with 6, it won't work, obviously. If I say plus 6, modulus 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. Modulus 7. 6, 7. 0 becomes... oh, my head. I want 0 to become... one sec, my brain. My brain is not functioning. I overestimated the effect of the nap. Oh, no, this is right? I want that to become the offset to become 0. I want the offset for that to be 6. So it's now 0 through 6, but shifted by 1. Okay. So it's plus 6 modulus 7. So we'll do... and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do this. So I can put a couple in here. So we'll do get day plus 6 modulus 7. And then we'll have to convert that all to milliseconds, yada yada, right? Times that new date. Like that. Right? And then we'll do the same thing here. Like this. And the whole point of this is that... whoops. And I think we'll have to add even more braces here. The whole point of this is that we now have a... this should always give us a Monday. Which it obviously doesn't. Ah, no, wait. This gives us a Monday. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So for this, it gives us the next Monday. But we actually need the previous Monday, right? Ah, no, this is the previous Monday, right? So it gives us July 29th for this date. And if I do this, so for any of these dates, it'll give us July 29th. Which is the second one. Okay, so we can just... we can get rid of that. Yeah. I think that's just correct now. So that gets us July 29th. And if we go past tomorrow, so 5th, it should give us that date. Yeah. Okay, so that's the formula. And And then we'll get just the default date. And in fact, let me just put this formula here for a sec. We want to test this against that. So if I refresh this now, right, it'll give us true on the test. So if this matches a date, we want to use that. Otherwise, we want to use the internal. We don't want to round this to the exact day, because in the future I want to be able to upload different test files and still access them. Hi Demono, yeah. I'm just doing something on the weekly stats page, but it'll only take like 10 minutes. I want to be able to just access previous stat files. 1 second, gotta get used to my microphone. Is everything tight here? This all feels a bit wobbly. 1 second, I think my microphone is not screwed in all the way. Excuse me if there's any awful noises. Tight. Oh, I wish there was a counter-tightening screw for these things, so you don't just depend on basically a friction fit. In fact, it's still wobbly because the base plate probably is also not. Alright, well, I have a lot of counterweights on this thing, so it's quite heavy. I have just diving weights attached to the little base plate. Okay, so where were we? So we wanted to say if it fails this test, and then we'll just here say start date equals that. If that's if it passes the test, we'll just turn that into a date. Do we want to turn it into a date and then? Okay, we want to put this in a function. So we'll want to have a little function. Normalize start date from dt. So I don't want a conflict here. Wait. Wow, I've got arrow syntax on the brain. So we'll do this. Boom, boom. That goes in here. Then that goes in there. If that's the case, then we'll say dt equals new date dt. Yeah, we don't want to make it super universal, so that's fine. Else dt equals, and we'll basically do this. Date now, right? So that's date.now. Actually, dt equals new date. And then we'll do that. Okay. And then return dt dot get full year plus, and we'll have new date dot get date. I think that gets us the day starting at 1, right? So we'll have dt dot get date starting at 1 dot pad start dot pad start boom max length. Okay, so that'll be 2 0. We'll have to turn this into a string, and then plus That's supposed to be like that. And then we'll have new date dot get month, new capital D date. Nope. Get month 7. Get month is +1 because sure, why not? We'll have get month +1 pad start plus, right? And that should give us not the ISO format output, but like our shortened output. And we'll do a quick test. So we'll do get rid of that. Get rid of that. We'll do normalized start date. This. Right? But I'll put a couple of test ones up as well. So I also want to be able to normalize something like so this should be for tomorrow. Yeah, so that would be something like tomorrow. I want to test last Monday, which was 29th. So we'll do 27, 29. Actually, let me put that in here. Boom. Start. Boom. And we'll do undefined. Something like that. Right? So if I do this and then refresh that, we are missing some braces. And after argument list 693. And I was missing a brace here as well. MS per day is not defined. Did I not save that anywhere? God damn it. Plus 24 times 360 times 1000. Boom. So this gets converted to this, which is correct. The 29th gets converted to 29th. 5th gets converted to 5th. This gives us the previous date, which is 07/29. Wait, did I not create one from last week? Are you kidding me? Did I completely not run it for last week? This is just the old 22 to 28. Wow, okay. Okay, last week was utter chaos then. Holy moly. Okay, let me fix that then. Sheesh. Okay, that's bad. Well, it's nobody's using this yet, right? Nobody complained. Let's just run this quickly. And to run it, we need access to the database. All right, then we need access to this. We need to run it for is this the end date? Stats range, end date value minus stats range. So that's the end date. So 29th, the end date will be this plus 7, right? 29th through, damn it, 4th. 08. 04. I need to automate this as well. And then I think I can run this, and that should get us the one for the 29th. So that should access the remote database. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we should have the 29th available here. 29th through 0804, which is today. Okay. Oh, I have it here. Oh, wait, no. That's something else. Something else. Never mind me. Okay. Whew. I also wanted to make sure this works for the day before and day after. Although, yeah, this isn't gonna normalize to Mondays, right? The whole point of this is to leave it as is. Yeah, it only normalizes to Mondays. Ah, but this one now normalizes to the next Monday. We need to normalize it to the prior Monday. So it's gotta be +6 modulo 7 minus 7. Right. Or +7. Wait, why is this dt minus? Ah, no, it should be -7 here. +6 modulo 7 minus 7. Or did I figure this wrong? 804 minus 7 plus 7. 22. That's the prior. No, that's 29 now. God damn it. Did I get this completely wrong now? No, I was just looking at the wrong thing, I think. Yeah. Okay. No, this is correct. This is correct. Okay, so I think we can just pass in the start date here. So we can just say start date here. And then we'll just put in this over here. Get rid of all of that. Right. And then here we'll just say like that. And that should just give us an error. Damn it. Always an extra brace somewhere. Okay, start. Demono, by the way, if you have any samples you want to send my way that are currently problematic or edge cases, or even some that kind of work but could improve, I would appreciate that. It would be good for testing. DDDD. Also, why we're still outputting that? Wait, what is outputting that? Oh, pages.js. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yeah, we really don't need that anymore. All right. So that will ask for that date. Okay. And then if I use that date, that's the last step, right? So we'll actually need to put that in here. And then I don't have to update this thing anymore, hopefully. So we should be able to put that in here. Interpolate the string. Don't need that. Now if I do this, it'll give us the dates from the 26th. If I do 7-02, it'll give us that. Can I make the separators optional? Like if I do this, if I do this, will it work if I remove... first of all, will this still work? Did I break it? This we don't want to run anymore. This, I broke it. Do this. Why is this not loading? Are you kidding me? Did I break the browser somehow? I don't know what happened there. But this is loading this state. If I do this, it'll break. But in a weird way. It shouldn't break in a weird way. It should break normally. God damn it. Okay. Let's see what is going wrong here. If I do this, refresh that, it tests as true. Oh, yeah, okay. So now we actually need to apply the regular expression, right? Dot match, REISO date, like that. Dot slice, 1, boom. Dot join, boom. And then we can put that here. And that'll work. And then this should work as well. Cool. Alright. And then we can also put something like that in, and it'll just give us the current one. But we can say, okay, I want to go back to the previous one, and I see it like that. Okay, so that's step 1, is making us letting us load them. And I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, what I need to build now is like a little user interface, like a drop down, because we're around 100 by 50 by now. Well, frankly, any size eventually, because it'll just support pan and scan, you know, panning and zooming, right? So if you have, the bigger of sample you have, the better. If you can send me something over that I can test with, that would be great. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. It still obviously needs an interface, but right now I don't really want to just guess what there is. And after a couple of weeks, maybe I can just say, hey, previous week, right? And then it'll say, oh, no data found, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm just gonna make sure this goes live, because this is not a engine significant change. So I think I should be able to just push that live. What did I change there? Did I change something significantly there? Oh, okay, that was a while ago. Yeah, that's fine. We just want to go... Oh, no. We want to be careful here. Oh, I need to... Holy moly. Okay, there's a lot of changes I haven't been keeping on top of. There should be a deploy script for this, though. So if I go to deploy server pages, I think that should update. So I should be able to put that here. Right? And if I remove that, it'll get us the latest. Okay. Sweet. Let's see. Any of you guys on this list? You're slacking. I'm not seeing any Chameleon. I'm not seeing any Demono. Not in the top 20. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any of you guys. Somebody's is drowsy with the summer heat, I think, just like me. Okay. And I don't think I need that. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at some basic Gatai support, and let's see if I remember how I did it. So the last thing I did was basically just a script that basically just enabled, and you know, I'm going to eventually build a full feature, but for now I'm just going to say, hey, basically step 1, enable pan and scan. Step 2, keep the UI in place, right? So the first thing I could do is just enabling regular pan and scan, so kind of a la this, and obviously changing the scale of the puzzle. So let's see, this scrolling, the kind of click to scroll is like my own script, and I'm trying to remember where that lives. Is it in here? It's basically because touch scroll support, like automatic touch scroll support, wasn't working properly. So let's see. Boom, boom, boom. And I think this, in theory, works. I think it works in 2D, not just 1D. I think I'm using it in the calculator as well, right? Won't work on this puzzle. Ironically, the calculator doesn't work on these. So, I just need to kill a calculator. So I can check how the scrolling's done there. So if I go here, big cage, super big cage, no. 26. Surprisingly small cage. Come on, give me a cage with lots of options. It'll make it scroll. Do I see anything? 18? No. Alright, that's not helping. Alright, let's just look at how this is done. So we're using this. This is JavaScript. Right? And how do we use these? So in the calculator, okay, so we have this handle scroll. Where are we working? Here we go. Let's put it to the front so I don't lose it. So we have handle scroll. Then we have make grab scroll handler, which we're not using. So we have attach scroll handler, but not make grab scroll handler. Interesting. What about here? We don't use it there either. What's happening with the music? Video paused. Why is the video paused? That's silly. Well, that sounds like a thing for the tool builders, probably Sudoku Maker or some of the others. All right, so attach scroll handler, cancel event handler. Attach scroll handler. Wait a second, are we not using make scroll handler anywhere? Oh, it's used by attach scroll handler. Okay. So in theory, only need attach scroll handler? And then add cancel event handler, add down event handler. Cancel event handler. Wait a second, what's the order of things here? So if I go here, click, let us modify that and see what happens, right? So if I do that, that, and that, and then what's the other one? We have attach scroll handler. I'm just checking if this is viable here. I don't know if it is. Like, I don't know if it does X and Y, but it might be better if I add it to this than rather than build something else. So if I clear this and grab this, boom, 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 boom. So the grab scroll just runs all the time, huh? Unless I would detach it. Okay. It's probably not what we want. I didn't realize I was spamming these events there. But, you know, let's try this. Attach scroll handler, handle scroll, something like this, and then handle scroll is used here. And we're just removing it when we're done. But we're just doing that. Okay, so the element we want to scroll is probably going to be not game, but board. The only problem is that right now, board is already transformed and scaled. So we might have to hijack, we either add like new structure, which I'd love to avoid, or we are, because I think the scroll, but this scroll thing doesn't actually, it doesn't use transforms. I'm pretty sure it literally scrolls something. So mouse move is basically, it's attaching scroll left. So if we want to attach this to the board, right? So we'll say something like dot query selector hashboard. Document. And then handle scroll is already a thing. Attach scroll handler. Previous handler. Okay, make sure that if there is a handler, it'll get rid of it. So I guess we'll just do this for now. I'm a bit... Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work like that. Pretty sure. And it's probably also not what I did. Yeah, the other problem is obviously that it'll interfere with the cell interactions. The board is only here. It would be a lot easier if we had another element underneath the board that takes up this whole space. So if we don't do it with the board, but we'll do it with the game. And I don't think this has an ID, ironically. I should change that. Let's say game element, right? Whoops. I have to reload that. Clear that, put that in there. And I'll move that. Now, obviously, the game element currently doesn't actually have scrolling, right? So we'll have to force that, saying width, let's say 140%, right? Boom. Outline 20 px dashed genta. Like that. Okay, so right now our grab doesn't work. Because right now it doesn't actually, it doesn't think its content needs anything, huh? All right, let's inject a layer above the board. I mean, that's probably the way to do it. And I think I'll do it programmatically for now. So if I do this dot parent node or parent element, so if I do something like dot insert adjacent HTML, and we'll say something like div I don't know, board scroll. something like that. Right? And then we'll just say blah blah blah. Boom, board scroll. And we'll say we'll insert it above. Insert adjacent before start. So before start. I'll do something like that. Like that. And I think I want to shut this down because that'll cause problems. And we'll probably do board element here. Oop. Like that. Don't need to do that at the moment. Boom. Probably want to refresh that. Boom. Fail to execute insert adjacent HTML element. The value provided before start. It's not one of before begin. Okay. Before begin. Gonna be that picky. Alright. Now there should be board scroll. And now we should be able to say we'll do that. And then we'll just say scroll L dot append a child with 2 P's. Well, put the board inside of that. Right? Boom. And now that's inside, right? And now in theory, we should be able to mess with things. So let's add some styling here. So first of all, we're gonna do board L dot style dot e object assign. I'll just say outline 20 px dashed genta outline offset. Is it offset? Minus 20 px. Let's try something like that. Refresh that. Need that. Do that. All right. All right. And that's scale. That's why it looks so small. Cool, 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 cool. And if I put something similar around the scrolling element, and we'll say green, we'll do that. We put that in there. The scroll element does not do this as I was hoping. In fact, the scroll element is there. Uh-huh. Now that's a problem because of, you know, the stuff. And the problem is the board is positioned absolutely. So I don't think I can use this like that. So the question is, God damn it. Yeah, I'll have to mess with the layouting code after all, so I'll have to build a custom handler. Although what I was wondering is if I can reuse all this code for the event handling and then just substitute my own sleuthing on the properties that are being modified. So basically give this an optional sort of function that it executes for moving rather than statically setting styles or whatever. Because how am I actually modifying this? Yeah, like I'm doing this. So maybe if I can pass in something that replaces these. The other problem is that right now, if I change the zoom factor of this, let me try something. If I add a transform to this, I almost want to inject some styles into the just so I can do selector stuff, because then I can say, hey, child of this should be styled differently. Let's do that. We have some code for injecting style sheets somewhere here. Right? And then I should be able to just edit them. Right? Attach style sheet. This would attach a style. Okay, so if I do this, if I do this, we'll do something like body color red. Boom, whatever, right? That's our style sheet for now. And then we'll do that. And then we'll do document.query selector all style. And that should get us a list of style sheets, with that being the last one, right? So the last one here should be the one we literally just created. Yeah. Now the question is, can I pass properties in here? No. But I think... So let sheet equals await. Then we should be able to say, we'll do that. Sheet element, right? If I do this, we gotta make this async. So things are starting to get a little complicated. All right, that gets us the style sheet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So if I do now, I should also be able to dynamically modify this now. So let's put that at the top. And the style I really want to add is basically the child of board scroll. The problem is, I think the dynamic resizing code will override this. We'll see, we'll see. So if I do board scroll, hashboard, and we'll say scale equals, wait, transform. Yeah, like we don't actually want to do that, do we? Because, man, that's one bad thing about CSS is like you can only override the whole transform. So if I want to override a part of the transform, I can't just say, okay, change the scale but leave the translation, for example. If I do this, right? And now I look at this. So we have board scroll. We have a style sheet that affects board scroll. Via that style sheet, we're affecting board. And board now has this, but that's overriding what I said here. Now, if I make this important, it might work, but it'll basically break in all sorts of weird ways. Yeah. But it'll override the scaler, so I wouldn't have to do it every time. But I've recently been prototyping some stuff where I can just do a substitute scaler, basically, with a resize handler. So if we do something like this, right, and then we'll do something like this. Up. And we'll don't do all of this craziness here. Put that in here. Right? But now what I can do is... I forgot that. We want to do that. So if I now resize this, that'll run. And now here we can potentially reset the scaling of this stuff. And we don't need that anymore. And the exact way we're doing that... And we'll probably want to adopt some of these things here. So we'll probably want to do this. Yeah, something like that. Instead of board, we'll just use BO. Right, instead of game, we use GA. Can skip that. And now we're basically extracting all the existing bits and pieces from it. Get dimensions. Get computer sum, max height. Get dimensions. I think get dimensions does all that stuff. View box split. Yeah, we'll need to. Oh no, there it is. Get dimensions, right? Get transform. Aye. All right. Well, we'll have to bring these in. Something like that, right? I think it's time to get a bit organized here. And then get transform is called where, and get dimensions is called where. Okay. So if I do this, refresh that, put that there, and then move this, it doesn't update this. Okay, so that gets us the dimensions, the actual dimensions of the board. And then get transform. Is that gonna get us the other thing? Do we need to pass something in there? The board element. So I do that. And let me get rid of that logging for these for now. I don't know yet if I can use them. I'd like to use the existing scroll handlers for the event handling, so I don't reinvent the wheel, and if there's bugs in it, I can fix them in one place and then not reinvent the same box over and over. All right, so now if I change this, all right, let's clear that. Yeah, so here it gets us the new scale value. And in theory, now we should be able to override that. Right? And in fact, that's sort of kind of what we're doing here. Now, CO here is... Oh, because I'm updating the controls here. Okay. So if I now do this... We'll do boel.style.transform. Put that in there. We'll do this. Okay, so in theory, we should be able to manipulate these. Because we still want to rescale. Well, maybe we don't want to rescale it anymore. Although we do want to have the base scale be relative to the total thing. So ideally what I want to aim at is that these cells are slightly smaller than the buttons. So we're kind of scaling it relative to the controls. That's kind of the idea. So if I now do this, if I do this, right, and I'll do sure. That transform equals that. Boom, boom, boom. So the transform here has X, Y, width, height. Now the thing is, the translate right now is in percentages, which is awkward. Now if I say something like transform translate minus 50%. I hate that I cannot transform the individual items separately. Hate that. That I can't like manipulate the scale independent. That you have to. And the funny thing is, you can do it if you nest the divs, right? You can translate one div and then scale its child. But of course, with absolutely positioned stuff, it gets complicated quickly. And it feels like they just, you know, might as well not have individual style properties and just a singular style string. Like, that's basically what they did here. They kind of got lazy. All right. So if I say scale here is tf.scale plus 1. Let's say, right? And if I run that, so now as I resize this, that doesn't seem to work. Transform 1, transform 2. Did I stutter? Syntactically, that looks fine. If I do this, right? Right, all I can think of that this is not a valid string. And it doesn't accept it somehow. Let's check that. Wait, what? Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Ah, here we go. And now it should still scale. It'll just be... shoot. The problem is it doesn't... No, it says, yeah, it's still scaling. So it calculates the scale, adds 1. So the squares should still get smaller. It's kind of hard to... Yeah. Okay, so that works. Okay, so we can do a scale offset, basically. But what we really want then, and that's the thing, I need to actually figure out what we really want. We don't just want to scale offset. We want to have we need to recalculate what scale we want, basically. Right. And now the other question is, can I change... like, how do I select, like, choose grabbing and selecting? I mean, the easiest thing would be is to have some sort of key that you have to press, or maybe even use the right mouse button. Of course, that would mean we're disabling the right mouse button menu. There must be a better way to do it. I mean, this is kind of the reverse of the problem I had on iOS, where you couldn't select across because by holding the button down, the browser insisted on panning and zooming, right? And I worked really hard trying to stop that. And I haven't heard a complaint in a while, so I don't know if it's currently still a problem. Okay. All right. Now if... let me think. Yeah, how do we do the pan part? The other option would be to use... Well, so we have... What are the options, right? We can use a hotkey plus mouse. We use something on the keyboard only, like arrow keys or something, right? We can do it automatic, so it follows the cursor, so you basically have to select something and that'll bring it to the middle. But that's probably terrible. We could do something with scroll wheels. Well, now that I say it, actually, I want to do scale by scroll wheel, right? So I'm going to add a couple of handlers. But that won't work for mobile. For mobile, we want pinch and zoom to work. I'll probably have to do one and then just like have an API between, you know, say, okay, feed scale here, and then have different events that that feed into that. So let's have a quick MDN. Oh, nope, wrong. Why are you jumping over there? Go over here. MDN mouse scroll. All right, so deprecated. What are we supposed to be using? Scroll, pointer, over, out, scroll. Scroll event fires when an event has been scrolled. So nope. Wheel? The wheel event fire when... Okay, so const handle wheel. So we'll listen to this. Nope. And I probably should be prototyping this in a file somehow, but I need to have a setup where I can save the file and it'll refresh the page and it'll just, I mean, I guess I kind of have that with the features and I just need to add like a hot reload thing. All right, so here's our scroll. So we'll do let zoom level equals 1, right? But 1 actually means 0. So here we're gonna do plus. So let new scale equals df.scale plus zoom level minus 1. Boom. Right. And then we'll say let new transform equals that. Then we'll do something like step.to fixed 3, something like that. I think that should be enough. We can just do that. And then we'll just say new transform. Like that. Now, after this, we'll actually need to do that, I guess. Right? Something like that. So if I do this now, put that in here. And now we actually have to modify the mouse wheel thing. Now, the mouse wheel gets us a delta. A delta Y. Does it give us a delta X as well? All right, so we can look at those. Dot delta Y. And then maybe later on we can translate these to touch events, like maybe gestures, you know, multi-finger gestures, stuff like that. I don't know, I've never really worked with that kind of gesture, so I'm a bit wary. And I think I'm just gonna normalize these for now. Oh wait, no, this is zoom. This is zoom, never mind. Because with pinch and zoom, you have a specific zoom amount, right? So I don't know what's best here. If you do a multiplicative zoom, I guess. So we'll do zoom level multiply equal delta x math.sine, and then we'll have const zoom delta equals 0.05, 5%, right? So I do this. Let new zoom level. Let new zoom level. Let zoom delta. Boom. And then we can do something like zoom level, zoom delta, zoom level times zoom delta. Zoom delta. Something like that, right? If I do this, and then I scroll. It's upside down. Ah! 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 Yeah. It is zoom levels times Yeah, I'm guessing we're just gonna add 1 here to this, right? So immediately negative. Zoom level times zoom delta. Zoom level. Wait, what? How is zoom new zoom delta? No. If I capitalize this, pretend there's a constant, right? And then we'll do this. Right? 1, 1, 1. Okay, that's garbage. New zoom delta. 1 plus times zoom delta. Zoom delta is that. New zoom delta is that. It doesn't make any sense. What was the first round? So if I have this, I have this, I have this, and I forgot about this. What does that look like? 0.05. Delta X is... It's Y, isn't it? It's Y! Y. Alright, that feels linear. And then we'll obviously want to have a minimum, right? We'll worry about that later. That's not terrible, right? So if we try this on one of these, for example, on one of these bigger ones, and we put that in there, I can get right in there. Cool, 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 cool. So I'm tempted to go with right-click drag, and then obviously for mobile we'll have to do like a multi-finger kind of thing. I could also just simulate it with right now with like control drag. If I do a right-click drag, I need to get rid of this. What is that gonna look like? Oh, no. Oh, no. MDN right click drag. Context menu event, right click drag, yeah. So we'll need to do the constant event when the user attempts to open the constant menu. This event is typically triggered by clicking the right mouse button or by pressing the constant menu key. Latter case, the constant menu. Okay. Is right click a JavaScript event? JavaScript drag div right click. So I'm wondering if you see right now I'm actually right dragging already. So I'm guessing. If I say const handle mouse move, I'm guessing that just works. It's just the mouse up that triggers the other thing that I need to deal with. Right? So we'll do handle mouse move, mouse move. So if I do this, put that in here. If I do this, what happened there? And then I do right click drag. And then I let go. Is this gonna be giving me buttons something? Button and dot buttons. Is there some kind of... I mean, there's obviously mouse down, mouse up that I can listen to. So I could do kind of if event.buttons. The thing is, if I do double... Yeah, I'm okay with ignoring that, actually. For now, at least. We'll deal with that. The problem is, like, there might be weird input things that screw with this. Yeah, exactly. I don't really want to use hotkeys if I can avoid it, especially since that makes it harder to translate to mobile as well. Because then you don't need a UI button, and you don't want to click a UI button to pan your puzzle, right? We still need to avoid the context event. So we should be able to do something like and maybe we are only interested in, ideally we only have it happen in this area. I mean, it could be that for Gatai we are actually pushing the controls to the edges, and we're like we probably want a complete different layout mechanism. So to be honest, I always wanted these to be floating. I wanted to have an option where you can just take them and drag them to the corner or something, right? Or at least have a little button you can press and it just goes off to the side, you know? Because for Gatai, you probably want maximum screen coverage, right? So it might actually make sense to have these only happening on this new scroll element that we currently don't add. So if I do this, right? And you know what? It could actually be independent of the board. Then the trick will be to pass all the other events through. That shouldn't actually be a problem. Wait, what if we do that? So if we put this there, and that should just sit here somewhere, right? Scroll, board scroll, it's here. Now we kind of want this to be, you know, it's also interesting that it's sitting in the center of the screen. And one second. Why is the music stuck again? Oh, okay. It's just being slow. Also, how many times have I tell it to repeat and loop, and then it just, the next song, it's disabled again. God damn it. Actually, let's not do it on this one. Let's do it on the game one. So the game one is basically everything but the menu bar in the moment. But the problem is we won't be able to click through that. But that might be okay. So let's not do this for a sec. And let's just apply the mouse events to the game one. So we'll do game element, and game element. And then we'll do handle mouse move. And I'm gonna change these to actually case-wise match this stuff, right? And then we'll do context menu. So we'll do that, right? If I do this and put that in here, okay, and a mouse move, and no right click. Now I don't have a right click here either. Yeah, that's how do I stop it from detecting through other things? Oh, do I have to deal with freaking event bubbling? Do I need to use the whole bubbling thing? Event bubbling. The problem is it doesn't help because I have no way knowing that something already handled it. Like, I don't think I can stop us from getting the event if something else doesn't actually stop the event, right? Ideally, if you're doing something elsewhere, I don't want that to affect the underlying item, right? Like, I don't want to have to modify other things to make this work if I can avoid it. Event delegation. Is there a problem caused by event bubble and how to fix it? Event bubble isn't just annoying though, it can be very useful. Particularly it enables the event delegation. This wants some code to run when the user interacts with any large number of child elements. We set the event list on the parent and have events that happen on them bubble up to their parent rather than having them set limiters on every child individually. The problem is, well, you know what? Maybe I can actually afford to set it only on this. The board instead of the game element. That might work. The problem with that is I couldn't scroll it here, which I might want to be able to do. And by scroll, I mean zoom. So I can zoom here, but not here. I can do this, but I get a right click here, but I don't get right click here. It's not necessarily bad, right? Okay, back to doing all the Delta stuff, which again, I'd love to be able to use this for. All right. We might have to just do a little bit of duplication here. So I do this, right? And then do this here. Hey, Alithana, yeah, that's kind of one of the she's talked to me about this for a long time, and it seems there's quite a few of these coming out. And a couple of years ago, Gattais were super rare, but now I think there's a couple on the regular, and maybe this tool will, and it's not just for Gattais. There's some people who struggle with vision and like small screens and stuff, and maybe for them it'll be helpful in other ways. So it's definitely worthwhile doing. Has scrolled is true. Has scrolled is true. What is has scrolled being used for? Has scrolled is false. E-type. I see. Yeah, man. I'd like to reuse these. Make grab scroll handler. Element. Scroll left. Like if I add a handle scroll here, make grab scroll handler element, previous handler, attach scroll handler. This takes care of so many nice things for me. And it works. The problem is that, yeah, it doesn't do the custom stuff with right-click scrolling and stuff. Please feel free to post any links to puzzles that I can use for testing. Because I don't even know what JSS stands for. And I don't know who PBN is. Do not assume I know what you're talking about. So I need to collect puzzles where I can test this for, like large puzzles, wide puzzles. Like I have a couple of here, like this is, I mean, again, you see, this is not a big one. So it's not, this doesn't really need it. This is one that's been posted in my channel. So ideally I need people to post these so I can take a look at these. If you can send me a link, PM me or whatever, that would be very helpful. So we have this. We might as well grab that out of where we get the stuff from, right? So we can do that. Boop, boop, boop. What else do we need? Now handle grab scroll here. Handle grab, make grab scroll handler. So we're creating a handler. I'm thinking we kind of want to replicate a lot of this. So we want to do something like const make pan handler, right? Takes an event. event. Except here it doesn't actually take an event, right? No, it takes the element, right? And then we have something like this. And then let handle pan. Oh, return function. Handle pan event. Boom. Should be some. Any links would be really helpful. And then we can probably just do that in here. And we'll have that here. We'll do that. Something like that, right? And then instead of all of this stuff, we'll just say let panhandler equals make panhandler on board element. And then how do we attach this? Scroll event names. Okay. All right. Yeah, links. If you have links to puzzles, that would be super helpful. Scroll event names. Okay. So, we kind of do this. We don't need that for now. All right, so we can do something like function attach pan handler ref handler. So I'm basically cloning the infrastructure, but I think it's worthwhile for now. And then I can, instead of doing any of this, boom, 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 we can do this. Like that. Okay. So if I do this, handler is not defined. Yeah. Okay, so internally now we can just call this handler. I do this, I do that. Okay. So let's move this up here. And then we're gonna do this. And I think we're just gonna bring these in here. Like that. And like that. And I think we can just not do that. You can just do that here. We'll have our handle pan. We'll have that. Right, then we don't need to do that. Just do this. Don't need that. And do this. We can this, right? Then we'll do that. We'll do an add event handler context menu. Boom, handle context like that. Now we can do this because we don't need the closures anymore. Then we can homogenize the whole thing a little bit. Okay. And now we can do the wheel thing. Attach pan zoom handler. And then later on we'll probably add features for configuring it, like how fast the zoom is, what's the start and stop, and all this sort of thing, right? Options, right? So we'll basically want to do this. Handle wheel. And then handle wheel is this. Boom, handle wheel. We'll do this up here. Boom. Zoom level is gonna be this. Boom. And we need to add the handle resize. Here. That's just going to be LM here. LM, right? That's all on this element. Sure. Do that. Do that. And we'll append this like that. Boom, like that. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Okay, so that works again. And now we can basically get rid of all of this. We've infrastructurified that. So handle resize, handle pan. Now we're going to go back to here and see how we're actually capturing these events in which order. Because I think, yeah, we're doing mouse down and mouse up and all that stuff as well. And I think that has to do with dealing with starting and stopping and all that sort of thing. Get pause is a helper that should exist somewhere. So take that, put it up here. Boom. Like that. Right? Then we have that. Let's output that. Look at that. Refresh, boom. Last pause. Okay. Then the next step will be this. Over here. Last pause is that or that. Do we use pause elsewhere? Yes. So we have a delta here. Let's call it delta instead of diff. And then we'll do kind of this stuff. And then replace diff with delta. Right. But we'll do this. And we'll do our button check. Mouse event button 2. So if it's mouse down or touch start, we'll do has scrolled is false. Else if e-type mouse move touch move and last pause. So if event.buttons, the problem is we need to handle mouse up events, and I'm guessing event buttons will be different there. Equals not equals to return. Let's do this for a sec, just to get it going. Okay, so we've got a delta here. Now the delta's in pixels. I have to go over from penpa. Well, I still need a link. I cannot convert for something I don't have access to. Please, just please send me a link. It might not come through on the chat. You might have to send it to me on Discord, please. I would really appreciate it. I'm sure I can just stick it into Mark's converter and it'll convert from penpa, no problem. Okay. Now we have to decide how we're gonna handle the actual panning. Yeah. So we have the pan here. So probably what I need to do is... So we'll start just like we're starting with a zoom level of 1. So we'll do a pan pause of 0, 0. Right? And then here we have a pan delta. Right? So we'll do a pan pause 0 minus equals delta 0. And for 1 as well. Right? And then we'll do delta and pause. Right. So let's see how that affects the position. Okay. So does that now mean we'll just trigger this, and in the resize, which I'm going to move to the top now because I'm realizing it's going to do a lot of the grunt work. We're going to do a calc plus pan pause 0. Like that. Calc plus and pause 1. Does that work? Maybe. And let's see. Ah, thank you. Thanks, Alithana. All right, cool, cool, cool. So once we have something basic working here, maybe I can look into that. All right, so we're updating the calc here. Sorry, we're updating the new transform here, but I don't see it doing anything. And in fact, here it is not set to that. Ah, pixels. I think they're quite a stickler for syntax here. All right, let's try that again. Oh, invert it. Ah, up is down and down is up. It's minus. Now the question is the units relation correct? So will my cursor be... Okay, so now I can zoom in. I can grab it with my right key. All right, now the problem is I can't really test it on mobile if I want to use multi-touch. I might have to connect a touch device. But Gata is also the sort of thing, I mean, I think it's acceptable for me to have a demo or an experimental version of this on blah, 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 right? On desktop only, and then test it out. Maybe streamers will start using it. Also, so there's a couple of things now. We need to... It would be nice if I could continue the movement above this, even if I can start it from here. So there's a bunch of things we need to do, right? We need to go under the UI up here. We need to clip under the top bar. We need to limit panning to the point where... so I should be able to pan further right than the edge of the board, basically. Although, yeah, for a streamer, they might actually appreciate the being able to move it anywhere. Let's fix that first. So right now, I'm attaching everything to this element, and I'm saying capture true. First of all, I think I can now remove all of these, right? If I do this, it'll still work. Yeah. Now, once I hit there, why does it stop? Does it stop because I stop getting events, or does it stop because something else happens? So if I put back handle pan here, I just want to save and then rerun it. If I do this, and then go here. Yeah, handle pan doesn't execute. So the problem is... Basically, I want the movement to be registered anywhere, but the start-stop, I want to limit it to this board. So if you're mouse down or touch start, that's when we start. Now, I think I might as well rip all the touch stuff down. All right, let me try this briefly here. So this should have a link somewhere. In the light of the moon. Does this have links to the puzzles? All right. And this is the... Okay, so this is a good test. So if I go to mark here, and I'll do this. Convert. Okay. Unfortunately, this is done local, remote on the remote server, so not on my local machine, but we can test it, right? Now I should... Ooh. I should be able to do this. I think my scrolling is inverted too, right? Scrolling, if I go to maps, scrolling down zooms which way? Out. And here scrolling down zooms in. Yeah, so my scroll is also inverted. We'll have -1 times that. It gets bigger. Is it this one? The next day, the caterpillar hit a grand feast. Now, the question is, can Mark hit my localhost API? Open in. Can I change this to localhost 912? Mark, is that possible? Can I hack your little drop-down? Oh, it's not a real drop-down. Why is it not a real drop-down, Mark? This is just awful. Okay, what if I change this to... you're indexing some local internal list, I'm guessing? Like, if I change this to localhost 9012, will it do that? No, it won't. Okay, what I can do is I can go here. I can go here. Grab that. Do this. And I'll get a local version. Ah, but that's not the whole thing. Did I go to the wrong place? Wait, what? Wait a second. Am I looking at the wrong thing? Isn't that supposed to be the whole thing? This doesn't look like the whole thing. The next day, the caterpillar had a grand feast. He'd have a dozen variants he's never tasted before. Is there not a version of this which has everything in it? How do I get the whole thing? That's not the whole thing. That's not the whole thing. That's not the whole thing. Solve from top to bottom in this section. He ate half a dozen variants he'd never tasted before. Odd, even, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Can I? But that's not the whole thing. Text at the top. To solve the whole puzzle online in a single pen per page, copy the link from this document. You can use the same document for full version of the 6 small links. Is it this one? Nope. I'm guessing it's not this one either. Nope. Very top. Before you said very bottom. I started at the top. Before you begin. Very top. Copy the link from this document. Oh my god, the link is stored in another thing? What? Alright. Can I do this? Nope. If I do this... No. That doesn't work either. I copied 7 links. Very top, look for the text I copied. I don't know what you copied. What do you mean the text I copied? Solve the full puzzle. Oh my gosh, alright. No wonder people don't like these puzzles. This is a huge pain in the ass. That's just to open the puzzle. Alright, so I'm guessing you're talking about this. Does that work? URL too long. Okay, so I can't open it in Penpa. Does that work? Page isn't working. Look for the text I copied. Oh, you mean this message user wrote? Okay, that text doesn't exist in either document. Yeah, but that's not it. Unless there's a limitation on Mark's converter and it kind of chokes on it somehow. This, okay, so this exceeds my internal limit. Cool. I can break those limits. Ah, you know what? I can just do this. I can just take this. You know what? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna break the limits. Screw limits. Limits do not apply to us. Not today. Wait. Where's the API? It's in here, no? API puzzle. This is more complex than anticipated. So we should have file here. Admin slash update link. Yeah, so that's the admin API. The admin API is here. So that goes to here. Blah blah blah. Update link, handle API puzzle, handle API create link. There's some validation somewhere along the lines. Admin create link. Gonna bounce me all over the place, aren't you? Admin create link, create short ID, create new short ID in puzzledb underscore files. Finally, hey, there we go. Max count. No, that's the 500,000 puzzles. Okay, that's the sanity check. Where is the max puzzle size it accepts? It's got to be in here somewhere. Is this in the configuration? Wait a second. We have a different file now for the database. Right. The next size should be in the config somewhere. Server. Here we go. Nope. Okay. God damn it. Create short ID. API start request. Maybe here? Acknowledge short ID. Short ID validate. Is in PuzzleDB utils. Ah, this is so badly organized. This is a mess. 200. No, that's a short ID. God damn it. Barking up the wrong tree here. Puzzle. Validate puzzle. Validate puzzle. Here we go. Geesh. All right. How big is this monster? It is... It's only 46k. Wait a second. That seems too small. Is that right? Yeah, it's only 46k. What the heck? So that's actually nothing compared to our actual limit. Contact the site. Ah, because, oh, I'm an idiot. I can't go through this. I need to go through the blah, 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 API. Ugh, I have to manually make the API call. I don't wanna. All right, let's do it. Let's do it fast. So we need to do this. Body is that. Parse puzzle URL. No. Yeah, this is the wrong file. We need is that down here, auto short ID? No. Auto short. Handle auto short ID. Blah blah blah. God damn it. It should do a redirect to a local file. I don't recall what it is called. Is it in here or is it in here? Auto short ID. Here we go. Aye. Yeah, no, I want to create it locally. I need to on my local machine here. Unless somebody already created the full thing. Wait. Did somebody already create the whole thing? If I do this, right? I put that in here and I say convert puzzle. Yeah, no, because it relies on the auto short ID, but it's too long for that. I thought Mark's code was doing a direct API call, but it doesn't seem to do that. So it won't work for puzzles that are longer than valid URLs. But we still can create them, right? Because we are smart and we can figure this out. So we're going to do something like that. We're going to go in here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. Puzzle. It's going to be that. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. That. And then we're going to do that. Boom. We're going to do that. Then we're going to do that. Then we're going to do that. And we're going to want to output... you know, I think we'll be okay to just look at the console. So if I go here, And then I'll look at the network console here. Do this. Clear that up. And we'll do this. And then we'll look at that. And then we'll look at that. And... pa-pow! There it is. Easy as... holy moly, that's a lot of steps. Blah, 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 blah. Ginormous monster guy. There we go. And we'll probably want to copy the data as well in case we need to redo it on the online site as well. So that's fine. Close that. Close that. I don't think I changed anything in the server. In fact, we're going to make sure that I didn't change anything in the server. Shoot. Yeah, because I've been doing work on this stuff. So I don't want to mix some nasty non-changes in there. I need to clean that up off stream. Yeah. All right, I think that's okay. And that's the code we're working on, and that we don't need anymore, and that we don't need. Okay. Woo. You won't be able to play it unless you have like a very large monitor. But yeah, I guess I can do that. I can do everything. Anything, I mean. Everything is maybe excessive. By my standards. SudokuPad.app. Boom. There we go. Enjoy. Okay. Now we want to close all of these so I don't break my browser eventually. And we want to open this. I don't know actually if this is a good first test case because it is a little extreme. But in theory, we can now go in here, paste this code in there. And now I can zoom in, right? And I can... the dragging code... Ooh. Yeah, look at that. Holy moly, because currently I'm doing the drag by calling resize. This is bad. Okay, that's good, actually. It tells us specifically about a problem we have, right? So instead of just calling resize here, we'll do a... Is that enough to just do this instead of calling app resize? Kind of just want to do that, don't we? Like that. So if I refresh this and do this. Oh, whoa. Wait, what? Why is it scrolling? Why is it zooming? The zoom level shouldn't change. Zoom level only should change when we're doing the wheel thing. So I do this. Clear that. Put that in there. Boom. Handle pan. Handle resize. Scale keeps changing. Oh. Shoot. All right. So we actually need to deal with the transforms with the actual native handle resize separately. So we'll want to do something like const update transform We'll do something like that. And that kind of more or less does this, but without the updating of the zoom and or scale and or whatnot. And then we'll have something like let base scale equals 1. And we'll organize them a little bit more neatly here. Right. And then handle here we'll do this. And we'll say base scale equals tf.scale. Boom. And then we'll do update transform. And then update transform basically does this, starting from base scale instead of tf.scale, like that. And then this calls update transform, like that. And oops, I'll do something like that, right? And then here we don't call that, we'll call update transform. And then handle resize is just the event handler for doing other things, right. So if we do this now and I scroll in and then right click and I can drag and I can scroll in, I can drag and I scroll out and I can drag and I do this and now it's smooth and it's not 1 FPS. I'm maybe not the right person to solve these kind of puzzles. Now, we're seeing the problems here, but this is a really good test puzzle, right? This is kind of what we're looking for. And so far, we haven't had to mangle the base code in any way. Obviously, this is right now, and you see there's something going on with the selections, because selection works on right-click. So we might need to cancel the default events here. So if I do this, right, handle resize, update transfer. So we don't do this here at all. We don't do this. Don't do this. We basically just do this. Yeah. Don't do that. Base new scale is that. New scale is that. And I guess we probably can just do this. Right. Cool. We've got that. Wheel is fine now. So we'll probably want to do, when we're hitting mouse down, we want to we basically don't want to prevent default here. Prevent default and or propagation to avoid selection on right click basically. Yeah, it still doesn't quite do that. Prevent default. Do we want to prevent propagation? Stop propagation. The problem is I don't know if it happens before or after this. So by the time we get to this, we might be late. If I do this again, do that. Go in there. Ah, yeah, okay. So it just means right now we can't select right click. Yeah, I mean, can't have it both ways, right? But it also means it doesn't mess up your selection. So, like, if you want to look at something and come back to where you select it, you know. Cool. All right, so this, we need, the 3 main missing things are limits for scale and things. So we don't want to have a negative scale. We don't want to invert things, right? Overlapping UI elements, top menu, and general transform stuff. Like, hey, I want the controls to be somewhere specifically, right? Yeah, so you see it doesn't work. Scroll still works, but I can't right click with touch controls, so. Well, it'd be fun to see somebody actually do this in one go. Like, you know, maybe I sponsor somebody to do it just to celebrate the release of a new feature, right? All right, so to find the limits for zooming, let's do that first. We need to figure out, and this is not gonna be easy. We need to figure out how big a cell is relative to everything, right? So right now, for example, so when we're doing update transform up here, let's do this. And it's, we have base scale, zoom level, and new scale. Hey, Mark. Yeah, something like that. But for that, I first need to have the ability to actually move the controls, right? And that's something I've been wanting to do for the update for ranks for the streamer layout. So I might actually push it into that. So let's see. If I do this, we're modifying the zoom level, and we have a new scale. And then we're doing this. All right. So now we need to figure out if I go in here, right, and I'll change the board scale to 1, right? So that's the size of the cells. Now, is that always the case? So we have a really tiny one here, right? If I go in here and I do the same thing and I change the board scale to 1, or you know what? We can just force it, right? So what if we change this code? And we'll just say new scale equals 1, right? And if I paste that in here, it's like this. And if I paste that in here, it's like this. So the squares are slightly bigger than a button. And the squares in this one are slightly, quite a bit bigger than a button. All right. So there's a scale relation between these because these have their own scale. The controls have their own scale, right? They get zoomed differently. And the obvious thing is that you can't press something that's smaller than a certain thing. And it might make sense for the cells to be slightly bigger than the buttons, because in the cells you might want to center and edge line things, right? But I need to basically figure out what is the default, like, if you want to scale a gatai to a certain scale, what should that scale be, right? And without that, you see the board relative to the controls is the same scale, except here. Yeah, it's not a simple relationship. I mean, here it seems to be more or less fixed. Here it changes a little bit because of the verticality of things. All right. And if we do the same thing with this. Okay. So the question is, I mean, I don't necessarily want to stop people from zooming out further. Like what for, right? But we do want to have a sane limit, right? We want to have some sort of limit here. And I don't want to put the limit on the zoom itself, because that's arbitrary, because it all depends on... Well, actually, no, it's not. I'm just realizing, because we have two scales, right? We have our zoom level and we have the scale level. So we could arbitrarily fix the zoom at a certain level, right? So if I do this, we refresh that and... not that. 1 second. If we do this, so this is zoom level 1. Should zoom level 1 be the smallest? I think that makes sense, because zoom level 1 always ensures everything is visible. So we don't want zoom level to ever be smaller than 1. Right. So we'll do something like const min zoom level is 1. Something like that. Something like that. And then we'll do zoom level equals math.max zoom level times that. Right, and now it should be that I can't zoom smaller than that. Boom. Same with this. I can zoom in, but I can't zoom there. Now, zooming in, we also want to have a sane limit. The question is, what is that? And can I derive that limit? So, 1 second. The new scale is 3.5 here. So at default, we're like that. So if I want to bring new scale up to 1... Yeah, it almost makes sense to make 1 on the... So basically the inverse of the scale, such that if they're multiplied together, that they're 1. So if I have... okay, so if I want to so wait a second, what is the inverse of that? Is that 1 over that? No, what is the inverse of this? Okay, so what's the number that this becomes 1? That I need to multiply this to get 1. Because right now it's multiplying it by... Wait, no, it's multiplying it by... Ah! One sec. We have a zoom level, which is 1.8. We have a baseline. We're adding the zoom level. Oh. Ah, okay. So then the zoom level is... The max zoom level should be 2 minus base scale. Right, so let max zoom equals 2 minus base scale. I think... I think that's... Makes sense, right? Max zoom 1.848. Yeah, so maybe we're not maxing... Well, we should max the zoom level. Is there something we can do before we get to this point? Right? Because we have new scale here. Zoom level is... Max zoom. Max zoom. This is not multiplicative. This is so strange. But then it gets multiplied somewhere, no? New scale. Base scale times zoom level. Because zoom level... Base scale plus... It's additive. How did it end up with an additive value? Uh-huh. Okay, one sec. So we have the zoom level. We have the base scale. And we want a relationship between these two. such that we're never exceeding 1 when we do whatever the hell that is, right? So base scale plus zoom level minus 1. Basically, I want when zoom level is 1, it's 0. 1 second. What's going on here? -1 plus. I don't need to add here. Okay, no, that's a zoom delta, right? Let max zoom level equals 2 minus base scale. Right. So we have min, zoom, and max. And we should be bracketed between those two. Min. So 1.84 would be max. So min is 1 and max would be 1.84. So we'll do math.min max zoom level, which is dynamic relative to the zoom, the base scale. Bring that in here. Boom, max zoom. I think that makes sense, minimum zoom. So now if we take it to, for example, something like this, we'll go up, max zoom. Now, puzzle like this might be problematic. Like, we almost might want to have a map, a mini map, right? Because if the puzzle is really large, it's possible for us to end up in a place where we don't know where the puzzle is, which is a little silly. So we don't want to find ourselves in that position. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's still a problem. And that's the other one. I mean, that's not even that big. But by our new standards, this is not big. But, you know, somebody might enjoy going through it at this scale. So it's definitely valid. All right, let us deal with the drag over stuff problem. All right, so this min-max zoom kind of works. And I think I'll make this in 2 steps. So I'll do this first. We'll do zoom level equals this. And then min-max, boom. All right. So that's fine. Okay, so now for the dragging across, the problem is that currently the events only fire for a base object, for the base element that we're applying things to. So if we have capture, wheel fire event fires when the user rotates a wheel, but isn't capture meant to give us access to these? Capture. An altered form of event progression is event capture. This is like event bubbling, but in order is reversed. So instead of the event firing first on the innermost element targeted and then on successfully less nested elements, the event fires first on the least nested element and then successfully more nested elements. Because the problem is, I think that thing cancels the event before it gets to us. Wait, no, it can't be. Right? Because we're using event capture. At least it looks like we're using event capture. Capture true. Let's have a look at handler and see if it does pass that through. It should. I mean, yeah, it should pass them straight through. LM window scroll event handlers. Scroll window event names. Handle pan. Handle pan. Handle pan. So how does it not work once I get to here? It stops panning. Are they using use capture as well? One second. So mouse down, touch, move, mouse up, touch end, mouse up, touch end. Scroll element event names. Scroll window event names. Scroll. So if I do this, where's the mouse? Go to here. It does work for the mouse up. Because we're putting that on the window, but use capture should give us access to these events, even from the innermost element. That's kind of what it's for. So if I do this, you clicked on the body, click the diff element, you clicked on a button element. But the body fires first. The button fires last. Oh, wait, that's reversed, right? An object. Event bubbling can sometimes create problems. The event object has a function available and called stop propagation, which when called inside an event handler prevents the event from bubbling up to any other elements. We can fix our current problem by changing the JavaScript to this. Stop propagation replay. Problem caused by event bubbling and how to fix it. Event bubbling is just annoying, though. It can be very useful, blah, 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 and it was event dedication. Is this practice when some code to run? Okay. I mean, the obvious thing is to listen to the event on the window level, just like what we do for the event mouse up events. So if instead of doing this, whoops, if instead of doing this, we do this, right? And then we'll do that. We can drag, and then we can drag anywhere. Yeah. But we want to do the start drag only on this. And then the move drag on the other things. So we probably want to handle these differently. So let's have a look at these. So we'll want to do start event names equals mouse down touch start. Right. Then we'll have stop event names, mouse up touch end. And then we'll have move event names, mouse move, touch move. Right. So now we want to start on the object only, but we want to move and release on the window object. So const handle Handle start. Right. Handle move, handle stop. Handle stop. Handle move. And handle wheel. Okay, so let's try this like that then. So handle element, handle start. Sorry, start event names. Boom. Start event names. Handle start. And then on window, we'll do the stop event names. Boom, stop event names. And handle stop. And I think, do we want to... Let's do this for a sec. Okay, so we'll do console.log, handle start, handle stop, handle move. Right. So only when we're starting do we add the other event handlers, including the context. So now we can do this. Whoops. Oh, my wrist's starting to hurt. I'm gonna need a break soon. Handle context menu, out. And then handle stop, we'll remove these. So we'll do rem handler, boom. Stop event names, handle stop, handle stop, handle stop. We'll remove this. So for now, we're just going to add these. Unexpected token const. Where did I mess things up? Here. Here. Boom. So handle start, handle stop. Handle start, handle stop. Okay. Now handle start should add this thing here. Handle context menu. Add handler window context menu. So I have a feeling context menu, I cannot add that on the click. That's annoying. So the context menu, we might have to keep it running at all times. Oh, wait a second. I think the context menu... Shit. I think the context menu fires afterwards. Oh man, this is so annoying. So if I release, it says stop, and then the context menu happens afterwards. So we'll probably do something like, if I make these async, and then I'll do await sleep 100, right? And I'll do that, and I'll do this, and I'll release. Handle stop console.log after sleep. If I sleep for a second, I'll do that. Oh wait, I think sleep takes another argument. Boom. And context menu. Stop after sleep. Okay. Can probably make this fairly short. It's probably literally just the next frame, right? Make it 10 milliseconds. Is that enough? Probably, yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Boom. Now, we want to start handling the movement as well. So we'll do movement names. Boom, handle pan. I'll move. And consequently, and remove event names, and move. Boom. Okay. Refresh. Weird. Okay, handle move isn't getting removed yet. Handle stop. Ram handler, move event name, boom. Do this, put that there, grab it, drag, stop. Yeah. Now, this is because we're not doing the right things just yet, right? So in move, we kind of want to do this. Uh-oh. Oh, because I haven't added the events yet. All right. So if I go here, right click, boom. Okay. And of course, somebody's immediately going to complain that I'm disabling the right click menu. All right. On start, we definitely want to do this. And then this is basically our move handler. Right. That's really all we need in here. We'll do this. Or do we not do this? Past. Let's pause. Pause. Or pause. Get pause event. Yada yada yada. Has scrolled. Has scrolled. Has scrolled gets set to false here. Okay, so that's our check. So we're not double triggering events because of all the whole touch mouse bollocks. Okay, so has scrolled is false. Does has scrolled get set to false in the end event as well? Yes. So has scrolled gets set to false here as well. Right, and we might as well update last pause. Oh no, we're setting it to undefined. Okay, fair enough. All right, so I do that and do this, and that works, and then I release it here. Okay, and if I go back to this one, right, I can drag it to here. I can scroll here. I can scroll here. Scroll here. I can right-click, drag that. Get a right-click menu even. I can press the button. But I can do this. Okay, that looks pretty good. Cool, cool, cool. We have a scroll limit. What we're missing right now is recentering. So for example, I don't want this to happen. I don't necessarily want it to zoom. We basically want to zoom it towards the mouse cursor, right? Which is gonna be a little annoying to do. I've done this before though. I've done this before. I've done a map application, but God knows if I remember the math for that. We basically want to move it such that the same position remains under the mouse cursor. But we only have a scale value. Like I cannot double transform in this context. How would we do that? Jeez. How would we transform it? I'm currently thinking. So imagine if I have a unit square, and I scale it from the upper left corner by 50%. You know what? Can I do it in here? Just give me a blank canvas. So if I no, Control Alt, yes. All right. So can I have a brush and right? So the idea is, right? Imagine if I have a square and the mouse cursor is in the corner, and I want to scale it to 50% its size. So the center moves from here to here. Right? So it moves towards the mouse cursor by the original distance multiplied by the scale factor. Right? The problem is, for that to work, we'd have to get a valid read on the mouse cursor. And the question is, relative to what? We need the delta of the mouse cursor relative to our zoom center. Okay, so our zoom center, without having panned, is... God knows what it is. Well, we do know, right? We do know. Somehow. We do know. But it's not from transform. It's... Is it get dimension? Get transform, get dimensions. Get dimensions. Get dimensions. No, we don't need dimensions. We need... we need the actual bounds. Right? So we're looking just at the zoom here. Let's rename this from... Yeah, well, we'll worry about renaming it from wheel to zoom or whatever at a later stage. So if we do this, let's give ourselves a little bit more space, and I zoom, this doesn't change. Okay, so that's not the one we're looking for. So bounds is the position of the box without taking the transforms into consideration. We do have the transform as well. Do I have to multiply them together manually, or do I have a function that gets me the combined real thing? Like this, for example. So if I do this, does that give me real coordinates? Let's see. Doesn't change the width and the height here. That doesn't change the height, the right. What about bounds? So this doesn't take the transform into consideration. God damn it. Right. 4, 6, oh wait, left 64, width. Do these numbers make sense? Like, is left plus 0.5 times width, is that the real center? So let bounds be GA bounds equals that. So if I do this, right, and if I say dot left times dot width, like something like that. The width doesn't change. Width doesn't change. Do I multiply it by the current zoom level? Blah, 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 blah. Maybe. Maybe. Max zoom base scale. zoom scale is what's the new scale? Base scale times plus zoom level minus 1. 639. I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I'm getting hungry and my brain isn't working properly. So, but basically what I'm thinking is, if I can figure out where the center is relative to the thing, figure out where my mouse is, then I'll take the zoom delta in percentage points. So let's say if you're zoomed by 50%, I multiply this vector by 50 by 0.5, and I move the center to that position. And that will then mean that the point that's under the cursor, like if I select the cell, as I zoom, that cell stays under the cursor. And that's basically what we want, right? That's how people expect these kind of zooms to work. Can I put this together quickly right now? I would need to do the pan position. Can I just how is the pan position being handled here? Do we just add or remove the delta from it? Yeah. I hope this doesn't cause a problem with error accumulation, but it shouldn't. So that means we should be able to manipulate the pan position even while dragging it. Like if I drag and zoom at the same time, it should work, right? Because the pan position is our offset. So if we take this, so this is just our x, right? And we're multiplying that by our zoom level. Because as I'm zooming, surely this center change. No, the center doesn't change, does it? No, it doesn't care. Does it care about zoom level? No, because it gets multiplied in twice. Right. Okay, so then what we're caring about is the delta zoom. So, we'll basically need to do... We'll do a let new zoom level, or next zoom level, equals zoom level times new zoom delta. Zoom delta, is that what we want? Let's call it zoom step. Then I can call this a zoom delta, not new zoom delta, which is super weirdly confusing. We don't need that anymore. This lets us do that. And then we'll say blah, 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 blah. Zoom level equals next zoom level. Max zoom level, yada, yada. Let's zoom delta be that. This can be done first. Right? Commas here. And then we'll do something like zoom. We'll do zoom level. Next zoom level. So that should already be clipped to our min and max. And if we do that, we're going from that to that. Right. And then we can do delta zoom. Delta zoom would be zoom level minus that. Right? That's our delta zoom. Right. And if we're multiplying that by, let's say, let offset equals x and y. X and y. Top height. Right. All right. And now, if we multiply that by our delta zoom level, let delta zoom, boom, or zoom delta. I don't even know. I don't even know. Does it make sense to multiply that here? I'm not sure about that either, to be honest. So if I do this, right? Zoom delta. Zoom delta. God damn it. Zoom level delta, because that's not gonna get confusing. I'm really bad at naming things. It's a programmer's disease. So minus 35. So now we should do this. Pan pos 0 minus equal offset 0. And same for 1. Except it should be half that. Right. So if I do this, it's moving towards the mouse. Is that what we want? Offset is that. Offset and pause. 0.5 times. Let's do it this way. So if I do it this way, let's say we select this, and I zoom. It jumps that way. Let's make the zoom delta, the zoom step smaller so we can maybe see it more clearly. And did it crash again? Does that? God damn it. Do I get it into some sort of weird loop? Why would it crash like that? Like really hard crashing. So strange. I hope I'm not doing something really stupid. All right, should it go the other direction maybe? I mean, it could also be that the scale is completely wrong. Zoom level delta. Does this make sense? Or do I need to multiply it by the actual scale as well? I'm not sure. What if I make this large? Just to see if it's moving in the right direction. Because right now I can't really tell if it's moving. It's moving inwards. And before it was moving outwards. It's definitely moving towards the right, isn't it? If I zoom near the middle... Oh, wait. What am I doing? I'm not taking the mouse position into consideration. God damn it. All right. We need to know the mouse position, which we won't know. We might know it at the scroll wheel event. Does this convey the current mouse position? Did we crash it again? Apparently we crashed it again. Holy moly. I hope that's not gonna be a problem outside of my control, to be honest. Possible. Do we have the other mouse event stuff here? Can we do get pause event? Get pause. Okay, so what we actually need to do is we need to subtract one from the other. and then multiply that by our delta. Which means we wanna... Oh my god, okay. Pos equals that. Pos 0 minus... Boom, boom. Pos 1 minus... Boom, boom. Alright. Oh, paste that here. Alright, now instead of 5 times, we'll do 1 time. See if that's going in the right direction. So we want this to go downwards. I think now we might have to do this. Right. Sec here. It's still barely doing anything. What is this? Without like zoom level bollocks. I put that there. Okay, it's negative 500, and over here, it's a very small positive. In the center, it should be around 0. So, this position is actually not correct. So the bounds, they don't give it to us relative to the actual position. Left is 0 here, top is 40. Oh, because I'm looking at the game, not the board. Jesus. Alright, that's not useful. Plus delta minus 1.7. Okay, let's see. We're looking at the wrong thing the whole time. So offset and pause. And pause. Why is offset similar to pan pause? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Position delta is minus 300 plus this 300. And around here it should be 0. Okay, that's a step in the right direction. So this roughly gets us a delta. But then the offset afterwards... How is the offset 3.63 when this is minus 300? Because the zoom level is just really small. Kind of makes sense, right? Now I'm wondering if this adds some sort of multiplicative factor. Let's make this big and see if it's moving in the right direction. Okay, so this moves it to the right, and this moves it to the left. Okay, so the scales aren't aligned here. So the zoom level delta is a small number, I assume. A very, very small number. 0.01. Is this number fixed? Or is, depending on what zoom level we're at, we don't care about the delta, we care about the absolute difference? Maybe? Ah, wait. Now it's moving too fast. Too far. Yeah, now it's not moving far enough. Huh? Yeah, I'm definitely not using the right value here. So I shouldn't be using the zoom level delta. I should be using the absolute difference. So maybe convert the zoom level to a scale. So if I say something like let pref scale equals a scale. So instead of new scale, let's just call this scale for a sec. Right. So we want to have pref scale is this. And next scale is next zoom level. Right? So if we have this pref scale, sorry, next pref scale, next scale, sure. And then we output both of those. And we might as well output the delta as well. Thing is, this is an additive delta, not a multiplicative delta, which may not be what we want. I'm not sure. I don't want to do the math. I don't want to do the math. So we go... Wait, what? We're going from 0.1519 to 0.16. So delta is 0.10. I guess that makes sense. The delta is whatever the delta is, right? The problem is, the larger our base scale is, the more our delta matters, right? So we don't really need to know the percentage of scale we're changing. We need to know how much we're moving the edge of the puzzle, which depends not on the change of scale, but it depends on the absolute scale. Right. But isn't that the same thing? Like our offset. So our offset over here is what? 300, right? 340. So as I'm zooming by 0.1, shouldn't we want to move it by 0.1 of the difference here? Or by half that, not 5 times that. So right now I'm moving it by 5 times that. Ah man, what am I getting wrong here? We're so close. What am I getting wrong? Is it the delta that I'm getting wrong? The calculation for the delta? Or is it that I'm using the wrong base numbers? Because basically what I'm thinking is that depending on what the current scale is, we need to use a different relative delta, right? So it's not scale independent. So because the more zoomed in we are, the less we have to move. Even though the current scale delta is the same, right? So we are caring about the difference in actual change. The multiplicative difference? Basically what I'm thinking is, right, if we're going from scale, let's say 1 to 2, that's a difference of 1, right? But if the puzzle is 1,000 across, that's a difference of 1,000 units, right? So but we're already multiplying it by, we're already multiplying it by this delta over here. So, like, we're over here, and I'm zooming. It's minus 350. And our position delta is minus 350. We're zooming by 0.1, and it tells us we should move it by 3.5. So we're zooming in, and we're moving it by 3.5 to the right. And we keep moving it to the right. Keep moving it to the right, 5 at a time, 5 at a time. Our pan position slowly increases. But the puzzle still, relative to our mouse cursor, moves. Ah, wait a second. So in this direction now we're moving it to the left. Except we're inverting it here. Wait a second. Okay. What if we do the multiplication down here? Maybe that'll make it make more sense somehow. I don't know how, but maybe. So our delta here, we're zooming in. Our delta is -8.7. Our delta should be positive that. So that should be... maybe these should be inverted, right? So it might be this minus that. Like that. So if I'm clicking here, right? So we want things to move to the right. So it's 344. And pan pause is getting smaller. What? So pan pause is getting smaller, which means it's moving to the left. Is that what we want? No, we want to move it to the right. It should get bigger. So why is it getting smaller? This is a positive number. We're multiplying... Ah, because the zoom delta is negative now. Is that the problem? Right, now I'm just inverting two numbers and I'm back to the same place where I was before, right? So we haven't gained anything. But this signs make sense now. Okay, so the x is positive, but it's 300, and we're obviously not adding 300 to this. Oh, because we are multiplying by that. Yeah, okay. But this is more than 3 pixels. That's the weird thing. And it doesn't make sense that this would be 10x that for some reason, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think the reason I wanted to output that is because it told me what's actually going on. So I do this now. What? Oh, because now the delta... Wait a second. Okay, this actually sort of kind of almost makes sense. Let's bring that back in here. What if I make this 50? Huh? Oh, wait. Jumping to the right. By a lot. So normally if I zoom it from here, yeah, I want to move it to the left. So we do need to invert it here. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have a factor here, and that factor right now is gonna be -10 to invert the signs, right? So if I do this, okay, that's pretty close, but obviously this shouldn't be a fine-tuning problem. Shouldn't be like, okay, it's around 8. No, this should be there there shouldn't be a fudge factor. We need to move it further than this. So 9? Uh, 11? Uh, 6? Am I going the right direction or not? Ooh. Yeah, but you see, it changes. It's dependent on the actual zoom factor right now. So I'm taking the delta from the wrong thing. All right, it's past 10 o'clock. I gotta call this. All right, so this is actually really good progress. This is surprisingly far along. I mean, obviously, making this work for mobile is going to be a tricky bit, and we definitely need more control over the overall layout of the thing. But this is almost like I could almost put this as an experimental option already to let people mess with it, and especially for streamers. And it definitely makes things usable that weren't prior. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to ask who made this. Was it Demono? Ah, no, it was a huge collaboration. So I'm gonna have to contact them to see if how public is this document? Is this like open use, or is this? My God, it has a lot of people in it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to contact some people and find out if this is if I can use this as a demonstration of the thing here. Let's do a quick GIF cam. See if we can find something here. Let's also get rid of the pink outline. Where is it? I think that's all we need, right? And the board scroll we're not using at all, if I remember correctly. I do this, right? Oh, BOEL. Yeah, I don't think we need that either. All right. So I'm gonna do a little clip here just to show what it could look like. So if we record this, and we can do this, and then we can do this. And then everything crashes. I think... Okay, so that's how the tab crashes. Like, it feels like the whole browser is crashing in some weird way. Am I not removing all the event handlers that I'm supposed to removing? So we're adding 3. We're removing 3. Should we call handle stop before we start handle start? We might actually want to remove handle start. So after handle stop, handle start does this, and handle start will remove itself. Does that make sense? So can I do this many times now without it suddenly... Okay. It seems to work now. Alright, so if I record this, and I can do this, and I can zoom in, and I can zoom in here, and I can zoom over here, and I can do this. Alright. I save this under my usual place, SudokuPad demo, Gatai support. And that should come into my screenshots folder here. It takes a moment. I hope it's not going to be too big. Okay, that was weird that it was the wrong size. All right, I think that's fine. That's it for today. I mean, this is 20 to 30% done. Of the core functionality is missing quite a few bits. And then obviously we need a bunch of edge case dealing and fixing and debugging. But I think I'm pretty close to have something that I could at least add as an experimental thing for people who want to give it a try and deliver some feedback and all that sort of thing. Sweet. Good progress today. I appreciate you guys who stopped by. Helps me to know that people care about certain things and lets me prioritize what I'm going to work on. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed the app. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. And have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.